Welcome to AM Best Audio.
FM's recent groundbreaking of the FM Science and Technology Center Europe marks a major milestone for the insurance industry and the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region. Located in Luxembourg and set to open in 2027, the innovative facility underscores FM's commitment to scientific innovation, risk mitigation, and client partnership. By expanding its global research and education footprint, FM is reinforcing the critical role that science-driven insight plays in helping businesses prevent losses and build resilience in an increasingly complex risk landscape. I'm Lori Chortis for AM Best Audio, and joining us now to discuss that is Dr. Louis Gritzo. He's the Chief Science Officer and Staff Senior Vice President at FM. Dr. Gritzo, welcome. It's wonderful to speak with you again. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much, Lori. It's a pleasure to be here.
Lou, what inspired FM to create a state-of-the-art science and technology center in Europe, and why was Luxembourg chosen as the location?
Well, it's a really exciting time, but it's also, a time of rapid change that we're all facing together in terms of understanding and developing new solutions to reduce risk. And so when we think about kind of two of the big emerging trends that are happening now, we have the emerging technical risk piece, the rapid changing technology and the kind of property risks and opportunities it presents to businesses around the world. And then, of course, there's climate risk. There's extreme weather that's continually posing challenges of all types and for many, many different hazards. And so looking at these two technical needs, we started exploring the opportunities to be more global in the research that we do and looking at specifically Europe as a place where there was outstanding talent for both technical risks and climate science. On the technical risk side, the European Union and beginning increasingly throughout the Middle East and Africa is a place where adoption of new technology has happened very quickly. So we look at those things, the available talent and the adoption of technology, plus a growing FM client base throughout the region. And we said, okay, this is a good place for us to make a next step in our global research ecosystem, a portfolio of capabilities that we bring at FM to understand risk and develop solutions to our clients. Climate risk certainly is something that we need to understand with a regional focus because the way weather is changing depends strongly on regions. But we chose to headquarter our climate risk research out of this facility as well, because it can cover both the Americas and Asia, and there's a great talent base. So with these things lining up, we started looking all over Europe. Luxembourg was one of the ones that, to be honest, was fairly low on our list initially. But after we started exploring the options of places that we could get a facility and the talent built up very quickly, with partners and good local support, the central location of Luxembourg, the technical expertise, the multicultural focus. We do have an established relationship in Luxembourg. Our European headquarters has been there since 2017. And there just seemed to be a great positive ecosystem for partnering.
Lou, how does this new facility strengthen FM's mission of risk prevention and its service to clients across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa?
Well, Lori, the first thing it does is it brings a lot of solutions that we historically have developed here in the Americas much closer to clients in Europe and future clients. So it helps us there. It helps us build upon our European operations with a technical focus. We can do research of types there that are very common for all over the world, things like basic flammability, dust reactivity. Those things will really improve our ability to do the work needed to answer client questions very quickly. The focus on technology and climate in Europe has been very strong. Our clients there are part of that ecosystem, so being closer to them helps. The engineering standards that oftentimes govern how companies control their property risk are a little different in Europe, and we've known this. Our operations work closely with those organizations, but having a research organization closer to there will also tie those standards, our clients' challenges, and the work that we do closer together. The facility will also include testing capabilities for our FM approvals organization that tests and certifies loss prevention products. So having the ability to test products locally in Europe will improve response time and provide additional products available for that market. And finally, the facility includes hands-on education, physical learning for our engineers that have joined the company, that are going through their engineering consulting programs, our clients that are in the region. So all of these things come together with us being able to have a great integrated research, testing, client-focused facility with our European operations right in the heart of the EMEA region.
You just talked a bit about how you'll be working with your clients. In what other ways will the center support collaboration with clients, stakeholders, and the broader insurance and risk management community?
Certainly, we're going to have a very heavy client engagement focus, not only through the research that we do and being able to serve clients for that research and testing, the spaces, the educational facilities, but also in terms of making our loss prevention insights more accessible to clients through that facility, even if the work is done somewhere else. So the EMEA Science and Technology Center, located in Luxembourg, will have the ability to have an immersive digital experience, connecting work that may be done in other facilities around our global ecosystem with a digital wraparound screen, a good audio connect, so that clients and others from the EMEA region can go to that facility and also see a fire test, maybe that's done in Rhode Island, or see some climate science work that's going on and increasing now in Asia. The other piece that really this center is going to do a great job of advancing it is the technical partnerships that we have throughout Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. These partnerships are experts in certain niche areas, maybe automation and robotics or certain technologies, and being able to be closer to them and working hand in hand, them in our facilities, us working with them in their facilities, helps us advance our ability to get risks identified faster and solutions provided quicker, specifically for the newer, more emerging technical risks. So when we look at those kinds of partnerships, they really help us in four key ways. They help us with speed. They help us with scale. In other words, the ability to touch and reach a lot more solutions faster. They help us with acceptance in terms of local engineering standards throughout the region. And they even provide us some foresight in terms of what's coming in our client bases. What are things our clients are looking at? So the ability to have a great technically focused space to engage with clients and partners is really going to be invaluable, I think, for all of us.
Can you tell us a bit about FM's other research and education facilities around the world and the kind of work being done in those facilities?
Yeah, Lori, the best known of our facilities is our large-scale research campus that is located in Western Rhode Island. That 1,600-acre facility is and will remain our center of excellence for large-scale fire testing. We do more large-scale fire tests at that facility than any place else in the world. And that will continue to be the core of our fire and explosion work. We also do extensive FM approvals testing to test and certify products there. We have some advanced equipment that we've been working there with, and then a number of smaller and intermediate scale tests at that facility that will remain there. And we continue to invest in that facility. Our kind of what we've typically called our crown jewel of our research campus in Rhode Island, about a half an hour from our corporate offices here in Johnston, Rhode Island, and about an hour from our other major research facility, current research facility, which is in Norwood, Massachusetts. The Norwood, Massachusetts facility is currently undergoing redevelopment. We've moved a few miles up the road to a temporary lab space where we're continuing to work there. And that's really smaller scale, kind of smaller than a breadbox type work on material science, flammability, developing core things that we need for our computational models to help supplement our experimental work. And so there'll be 14 small and intermediate scale labs in the new Norwood facility. That's increasing from a little under a dozen from our past facility. So we're redeveloping that same Norwood site. Of course, the Norwood site and the research campus in Rhode Island, very tightly connected. Small scale learnings go to real scale testing and reality at the research campus. And then we have recently increased our research presence in Asia through our FM Science and Technology Center in Asia, located in Singapore. And the Singapore research presence now is focused on Asia regional climate analysis. That rolls up now to our climate science headquarters in Europe, which coordinates the work, the work we're continuing to do in Massachusetts through a fairly large team in the Americas, with the work in Singapore and the growing team in EMEA. So the key thing is that these each have kind of core areas of expertise, regionally relevant foci for us to be able to bring different expertise and partners in, but they're all connected. And they all follow the same kind of common approach of understanding the risk and providing reasonable, cost-effective, practical loss prevention solutions.
Lou, how will the new facility align with FM's global approach to blending scientific research with underwriting and claims practices?
Our approach to doing physical research really is all focused on how it can be put to use by FM engineers, FM underwriters, how we can help clients respond faster to claims that they may have and recover their business operations as quickly as possible. The fact that FM's engineering is globally consistent is really important. So regardless of where the research work may be done or where the scientific discoveries are with us or our partners around the world, all that work goes through a common process to make sure that it is something that is practical for our clients to use, that we can engage our engineering workforce in implementing the results of that research to understand and reduce risk, and that we have a common way of an FM client being served with state-of-the-art risk management insights and solutions, regardless of where their facility is, from research that's best maximizing the talent and knowledge around the world.
And Lou, looking ahead, how do you see the new center shaping the future of commercial property insurance and loss prevention in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region?
Lori, starting in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region, there's clearly a broad recognition, specifically in the north, up in the Nordic countries of that region, and even through Central Europe, of the importance of companies meeting their sustainability objectives, them doing all they possibly can to reduce their environmental impact, and resilience is a key part of that. Anything that affects a commercial property loss or business interruption loss obviously makes those objectives more difficult to achieve. And so being able to be closer to that client base, engaging with the client base through these technical discussions and the educational facilities will help us better fine-tune the solutions that we offer that are developed potentially in that region, but also developed in other regions, brought to bear through this common framework of implementation through engineering, underwriting, and claims. And also, I think it's going to help FM better meet the speed challenge. The speed challenge is technology outracing our overall, all of us in business and specifically in the commercial property and insurance business, the ability to understand the impact of technology on risk and be able to develop and implement risk loss prevention solutions before major losses occur. And so the focus of having these kinds of tailored center of excellence in Europe, looking at technical risk, is going to help that speed in addition to our partnerships. So the goal is to see loss prevention in the lab before there's that first big loss. And we originally, when the company was going down and we were doing the strategic planning around what this global ecosystem should look like, we thought about an industry 4.0 laboratory, which was at that time, kind of what the future of industry, connected, digital, Internet of Things. And as time evolved, industry 5.0 became prevalent. And then there's discussions around industry 6.0. So if we set the X point Y or whatever number dot whatever number aside, and we think about the future of industry and the future of commercial and property insurance, I think there's broad recognition and increasingly so that simply transferring the risk is not a long-term solution. So there's got to be a way of understanding that risk very quickly in the laboratory and getting those solutions out. And that's the vision for this future of commercial property insurance and loss prevention work in the EMEA region and how it can apply elsewhere globally.
Lou, this has been so interesting, so informative. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Always a pleasure, Lori.
That was Dr. Louis Gritzo, Chief Science Officer and Staff Senior Vice President at FM. For AM Best Audio, I'm Lori Chortis.
Looking to get the full attention of the insurance industry? We have the platforms that will do just that. Whether it be AM Best TV, AM Best Audio, Best Review Magazine, or Best Day. Find out more by calling AM Best Advertising Sales at 908-439-2200, extension 5399, and have a great day.